morning and welcome to What's in Your Wardrobe. And today I've got Cynthia from Ready Set, which is a volunteer-based charitable organisation helping people get clothed for interviews and for work.
Thank you for the invitation to speak today. A meaningful job that, that brings you joy, as well as helping you to, just to help you live in the way that you want to live is really empowering. And sadly, we see a lot of people who are just simply facing too many barriers to get themselves into that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it gives everyone purpose. And what type of person normally comes to you?
Hmm. So we get a range of people who have faced some form of disadvantage. So it really does run the full gamut. We support people who are newly arrived migrants or refugees to Australia and are trying to get themselves onto their feet and into employment. We've we support largely women who are survivors of domestic violence. Some who have encountered issues with the law, so are transitioning out of the prison system and ready to start their lives. People who have, facing mental health issues, homelessness. So it really is sort of a range. And all the one thing that they've got in common is that they've just simply have too many barriers to find work, both psychologically and emotionally. And so we contribute to helping them get out of that situation. No day is ever the same at Ready Set. We see people from all walks of life, and even last week we had this lovely girl come through. She First Nations. She's bright and bubbly. She's was looking for work in the retail sector or customer service, which she'd be terrific at. So again, we work with organisations that sort of focus on young people who are of First Nations background. So it's quite varied. Yeah, so the clothing that we're a small charity. We've been around for some time, 14 years, but we rely on the generosity of the community that surrounds us. So, in order to be able to give really good quality clothing to the people we support, and I should also mention that we were the first charity in Australia to support both men and women, and clearly trans and non-binary individuals. So in order to be able to support them with, looking and feeling great when they're sort of going for an interview or starting their job, we rely on the generosity of donations. So some of these donations come from individuals. I'd probably say the majority of them. And who give very generously, and they give us very, very high quality, gently worn items of clothing. Some of them are brand new, but also organisations that we work with, so clothing manufacturers or distributors, shops. So we work with some really great brands, so that we're able to give people clothes, also clothes for the trades. We need to have high vis gear and steel cap boots and things like that for the trades, shoes, accessory items, because of course if a woman comes to us, she wants a handbag to go with the outfit, so we receive those donations as well. So we're very fortunate.
That's fantastic. And I'm sure that all of these things obviously give each person a massive impact. What changes have you seen in people?
Hmm. Well, it's really interesting because when I talk to people about the work that I do, I think people just generally think, oh, yeah, well, we give people clothes, but actually we give them much more than that, because
Mm.
with clothes and with, knowing that you actually have this amazing outfit that's been, kind of curated, especially for your personality, your age, and for the work that you're wanting to look for. Um, it actually gives you a lot of confidence. And so it's clothing, but it's actually confidence, dignity, and hope. And that's really the transformation that we see in people. People walk through the door, of all ages. The youngest that we've actually supported is around 15. So we work with the youth category as well, right through to 65 plus if people are still working. they'll come in feeling, you know, really lacking confidence and not feeling empowered themselves about their journey, and knowing that actually they don't look the part, right? And not knowing how to go about looking the part that they need to for their job. So the transformation, even though some of these people are with us for maybe less than 2 hours, we provide them with some career coaching support as well, help with their resume and interview preparation. So let's say, on average, less than 2 hours, but the transformation is incredible because you can see that they leave us with a, beaming and with this, this aura of confidence that they just simply didn't have before. And I think we can underestimate the impact of great clothes and feeling confident on how we actually project ourselves to others.
Oh, completely. I fully agree with that. And it's also must be so rewarding for the people that are volunteering to actually do this job as well. To see that person walk back out after they've done something for them and put together a garment, everything for them. It just must be so rewarding.
Absolutely. And as you said at the start, we're largely a volunteer-based organisation. There are just less than two full-time equivalent people who are salaried. The rest of the team is volunteers, and many of these volunteers have been with us right from the get-go. Actually, they've been they were the volunteers who founded the organisation. And many of them are still with us. So we, in surveying our volunteers, asking them what draws them to this work, if you like, even though it's on a voluntary basis. They say that they actually want to give back to the community. They want to give back to individuals. They feel really fulfilled at the end of a day with us because they can see that they've actually the impact that they've had on people is very, very tangible. And it's also these wonderful teams that have and friendships that have been formed at Ready Set. Volunteers, they've known each other for a long, long time now, and they've formed very strong bonds and friendships. So there's a real sense of camaraderie, but camaraderie with purpose, and and everything that they do is for the clients that we support, which is amazing, actually.
If you were going to need more volunteers, what area would you like your volunteers to be in? Do they need to be in a specific area or?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Sharon. I mean, our core services are dressing people. That's and the other service is career coaching. So we look for people. The qualities obviously are people who have got a real deep sense of empathy and compassion and know how to work with people with respect. But there's obviously those who have got a sense of fashion and how to put clothing together. That's one element. The other, whether the volunteers who support our career coaching service mainly come from recruitment, HR backgrounds, and so they understand how to sort of work with people who are preparing for interview and crafting their resume. But back to the fact that we're a very small team in a sense, and we rely on volunteers. I don't have a marketing and comms manager. I don't have anybody that looks after business development or systems. And so I think those specialist areas are always very highly valued by us because we just don't have that kind of infrastructure otherwise. So if there was anybody amongst your audience that felt that they could contribute in some way, that would be amazing.
I think it's definitely a well worth thing that they themselves could get things out of it. Just, just by doing it.
For some, it's also a way of it's a professional development. I'll just give an example. I have a young girl, young woman who's supporting with our social media. Now she can only give us 3 hours a week, which is perfectly fine. But she's been committed to us for the last 2.5 years, which is extraordinary, really, given her age, especially. But she's getting a lot out of this as well. She's, she's building her own business, and so the experience with us is actually adding value to her own career journey. So that's also a lovely way of looking at it.
Oh, absolutely. And it's always good to give back as well. And
Mm.
when you get clothing in, you do give some away, you do sell some. The things that, because nothing goes to landfill that's given to you. So what
Yeah.
other avenues do you have out there that you get rid of clothing?
Yeah. So we are very fortunate. We get some fantastic donations, and so our criteria and categories, if you like, are principally for our clients, so the people that we support, and so that those items need to be absolutely high quality, clean, and with no snags or anything like that, because we simply will not pass those clothes on to our job seekers. Uh, Other items of clothing that are, fantastic pieces, but frankly inappropriate for our clients. They might be designer clothes or evening wear. So we put those aside for our very essential fundraising sales, because that helps to generate income, which in turn helps pay for our bills. And then there's this third category of clothing which really doesn't meet the criteria for either of those. And so we pass on those items to mainly three charitable organisations, who in turn give those items of clothing to their catchment areas and their clients, if you like. So nothing goes to landfill. Everything is either on donated or repurposed in some way. So
How can we help you? How can people out here help you with in any way?
hmm. So I think that, well, there are a number of things really. I think visibility for us is really key. The more people that know about us, the more support we might receive in different ways. It doesn't have to be just financial, of course. It could be clothing donations or even just following us on social media. We're quite active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. So, it would be great for people to follow us and share our stories with their own network. So Ready Set AU is our handle. So again, clothing donations, participating in some way in our fundraising activities, coming to our sales, because of course, as I said earlier, they're really critical for us to generate some income to support our work. And just sharing the stories across networks. And of course, if somebody felt that they had a little bit of time and skills that they could offer, I absolutely welcome having a conversation about volunteering. And we generally fit in with people's other commitments. So um,
Yeah. And you've got a sale coming up at
we do, yes. We're sort of we try in November. We try to link in with the Garage Trail that sort of occurs across Melbourne.
oh,
And yes, so it's tied in with that. So we've got the November 15th and 16th is our last sale probably for the year. And we like to call it the general sale, but actually it's $10. so every item, and maybe there might be a couple of racks that are slightly more expensive, but we usually it's $25 at the most. So $10 sale, and I'm telling you, we get amazing things. And if people are looking for a bargain, and knowing that the money, whatever money they might spend, is going to a great cause, please come. So it's at our warehouse in South Melbourne at the 149 Dorcas Street in South Melbourne, from 10 o'clock in the morning on the Friday, the 15th, through till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and again on the Saturday.
that's incredible. $10. Gosh. I don't think
$10.
you I don't think you wouldn't go down there.
Yeah. Well, our sales are so popular, I have to say. Usually we've got queues at the door before we open. And we hold about 5 sales a year, sometimes 6. Two of those we call luxe sales. That's where we really sell our designer items, and yeah, so it's slightly more expensive price point, starting from $25. So we try to cater for everybody. And I
That's
think to
fantastic.
look, people look for a bargain, something original, something that's great quality. They know that they're contributing to our mission.
I actually popped into one of your sales, and I can tell you and everybody that there are some really good things there.
Absolutely. Don't worry, we're all tempted.
And if they're going for $10 now, I'll be down there
Even
again.
better, even better. So, and 100% of what we generate goes towards our mission. Really, we're such a lean organisation. We do so much with very, very little, but 100% of it goes towards supporting our mission. And I think that's a really important point. You know, every dollar that we earn is really valuable for us. But
Oh,
thank you for
thank you. And
tuning
definitely everybody go and follow, like, subscribe, all the good things that everybody wants.
I'll just repeat the handles. I'd love your audience to follow us, Ready Set AU, and our website is www.readyset.org.au.
And obviously go to the sales. Why wouldn't you? And
Yes,
volunteer, of course. That's the other thing.
yeah, and it can just be, a couple of hours a week or fortnight. There are ways, different ways of volunteering. Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you, Sharon. Thank you, and thank you to your audience for listening in.
Cheers. Bye.